Professor Indra, Abeysekera. Let's look at constructing a questionnaire for data collection. There are three things that we have to look at when constructing a questionnaire: question writing, honest answers, then the design of the questionnaire. When writing questions, there are 15 aspects to avoid. The first one, avoid jargon, slang, and abbreviations. Second, avoid questions that are ambiguous, confusing, and vague. Third, avoid questions that elicit feelings. Fourth, avoid questions that associate respondent with prestige associations. Avoid questions that have more than a single question embedded in it, the double-barrel questions. Avoid questions where a respondent is led to an answer. That's the sixth. Seventh is don't ask questions beyond respondents' capabilities. Don't start a question with a premise that respondent disagree. Avoid questions asking about distant future. Avoid having overlapping response categories for the questions. Avoid double negative questions that make it difficult to understand. Ensure asking open-ended and close-ended questions with a reason and meets the research problem. Avoid asking circular questions where the research problem is looking for. Avoid asking questions which are irrelevant to the problem. Avoid forcing respondent to answer from what is available. Have a response for don't know or no opinion. So these are the 15 aspects to avoid in writing questions in a questionnaire. Second is to get honest answers. So to get honest answers, first, avoid sensitive topics, asking about sensitive topics. Second, avoid questions that elicit social desirability, where respondent will overstate their response. Third, avoid questions that appears to be beyond the respondent. Fourth, avoid contingency questions where questions become relevant under certain conditions only. The next aspect is the design. First, ensure the length of the questionnaire. 10 minutes is okay for a telephone questionnaire. Don't avoid more than 10 pages for a mail questionnaire. Second, review the question order and sequence. have the pleasant opening and ending questions, and can ask questions that require more difficult effort in the middle. Third, take the context into consideration. Use the funnel effect. Ask general questions first, then get to the specific questions. Fourth, think of the format and layout. Give instruction about how to complete the questionnaire and end with a thank you for taking part in completing the questionnaire. Have more response categories wherever possible and use I don't know, no opinion option so that respondent is not forced into a response category. Fifth, carefully sample and carefully screen the respondents to increase the response rate. A study starts with a motivation, this problem area. Based on the problem area, a research problem is generated, and a theory or a general understanding is examined. Research method is chosen. For questionnaire is used, a survey research method is chosen. Results are then interpreted, research solution, and from the research solution, a contribution is made. Here's a study that was conducted. This study was conducted by me. The problem area was that company website disclosures are unregulated. Little is known about the effect of website disclosures. The motivation for this study was that intellectual capital is an intangible asset base that helps fastest growing companies in Australia for their revenue growth-led reputation. Because they are fastest growing, they are considered as the best practice firms. And the research problem here is, does the company website intellectual capital disclosure has an influence on revenue growth reputation of the fastest growing firms in Australia? The theory used was signaling theory, that disclosures are used as signals of corporate reputation. Questionnaire was used among other data collection techniques, but the data collected from questionnaire was analyzed using multiple regression. The results were interpreted, and the data looked at from 2005 to 2007 with 301 observations. Research solution was that study found that narrative and visual alone, separately looked at, they will decrease the corporate reputation, but their interaction will increase the corporate reputation. The contribution that was made was that companies should be encouraged to use narrative and visuals for intellectual capital disclosure on company websites. This is the questionnaire, the sample of the questionnaire that was used. It has 5 response categories with not relevant to us as an additional response.
And the questions are